What if the deadliest bacteria in the world became the reason an atheist scientist found God? Dr. Kareem Lawson mocked religion for years. He said if God existed, he should be visible under a microscope. Then one night, a cracked glass tube changed everything. Infected by the very bacteria he studied, he lay alone in isolation, heart stopping, breath fading. In that terrifying moment between life and death, he saw something that science could not explain. When he recovered against all odds, he opened a book he had ignored his whole life, the Quran. What he found inside shattered his disbelief. This is the true story of how a man who trusted only science discovered faith through the smallest creatures on earth. From Microscope to Minaret, the atheist scientist who faced death and found Allah. Dr. Kareem Lawson did not believe in God. He believed in microscopes. For 22 years, he studied bacteria, tiny creatures that cannot be seen by the naked eye, but could destroy nations. He believed in petri dishes, in cold steel lab tables, in data sheets filled with numbers. He believed in proof. If something could not be tested, measured, or repeated, it did not exist. He grew up in a small industrial city in the north. His father was a factory worker. His mother was a quiet woman who sometimes whispered prayers before sleeping. Kareem used to watch her move her lips in the dark. He would ask her, "Who are you talking to?" She would smile and say, "To the one who listens." But as Kareem grew older, he stopped listening. At university, he studied microbiology. His professors praised him. He had sharp eyes and a restless mind. He spent long nights staring into microscopes, fascinated by how bacteria moved, divided, attacked, and defended themselves. He saw patterns. He saw order. But he called it evolution. He called it random selection. He called it natural law. When someone mentioned God, he would laugh softly and say, "If God exists, show him to me under a microscope." After earning his doctorate, he joined a high-security research facility that studied dangerous pathogens. The building stood alone outside the city, surrounded by fences and cameras. Inside, scientists worked with protective suits and filtered air. They handled bacteria that could kill within hours. Kareem loved the danger. It made him feel powerful. One winter, a new project arrived. A rare strain of bacteria had emerged in a distant region. It spread quickly and killed silently. The government wanted answers. Kareem and his team were given samples. Under the microscope, the bacteria looked almost beautiful, thin and curved like tiny silver hooks. They moved with purpose. They attacked healthy cells and destroyed them from inside. For months, Kareem studied them. He noticed something strange. The bacteria adapted faster than expected. They changed shape under stress. They seemed almost intelligent. He worked harder. He forgot weekends. He forgot sleep. Then one night, everything changed. It was past midnight. Snow pressed against the lab windows. Kareem was alone in the containment room, examining a live culture. He adjusted his gloves and leaned closer. Suddenly, a sharp sound echoed. A small crack formed in the glass tube he was holding. His heart froze. He stepped back carefully, but a droplet splashed onto his protective sleeve. He rushed to decontamination. Alarms did not ring. The system showed no breach. But deep inside, fear began to grow. 3 days later, he felt fever. At first it was mild. Then came the shaking. His muscles burned. His vision blurred. He knew the symptoms. He had memorized them. The bacteria. He tested his blood. The result confirmed his nightmare. He was infected. The facility locked down his apartment. He was placed in isolation. Doctors tried experimental treatments. Nothing worked. The bacteria multiplied in his blood like an army. For the first time in his life, Kareem faced death not as a theory, but as a shadow sitting at the edge of his bed. The fever worsened. At night, he saw strange dreams. He saw himself shrinking, falling into his own bloodstream. He saw the bacteria like monsters, tearing through red rivers. He heard whispers in the dark. You believed you were in control. He tried to push the thoughts away. It's just the fever, he told himself. One night the pain became unbearable. His heart raced. Machines beeped wildly. He felt as if something heavy pressed on his chest. He could not breathe. In that moment, all his degrees meant nothing. He thought of his mother. He had not spoken to her in years. She had become more religious as she aged. He had become more distant. She once sent him a message saying, "My son, Knowledge without the Creator is incomplete. He had ignored it. Now, lying alone in a sealed hospital room, he remembered her whispering prayers in the dark. He tried to pray, but he did not know how. God, he whispered weakly, if you are there, help me. Tears rolled down his face. For the first time since childhood, he felt small. The next hours were terrifying. His heart stopped for several seconds. Doctors revived him. He drifted in and out of consciousness. In one strange moment between sleep and death, he saw something he could never explain. He saw darkness, deep and endless. Then, a single light appeared. It was not bright like the sun. It was calm, steady. He felt peace flow from it. A voice, not loud, not harsh, filled his heart. Look again at what you studied. Suddenly he saw the bacteria, not as monsters, but as creations. Each one had structure. Each one followed precise laws. Their movement was not chaos. It was design. He saw cells communicating. He saw balance. He saw life and death working together like parts of a system far greater than his understanding. He woke up gasping. The fever broke that night. Doctors called it unexpected recovery. They said his immune system suddenly responded. They used words like rare and fortunate. But Kareem knew something changed inside him. Recovery was slow. He spent weeks regaining strength. During that time, he asked for a book, not a scientific journal. He asked for a Quran. A nurse raised her eyebrows, but brought one. He held it awkwardly. He had never read it seriously before. He expected myths. Instead, he found verses about creation, about life from water, about signs in the heavens and within ourselves. One verse struck him deeply, that in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and in the alternation of night and day, are signs for those who think. He had spent his life thinking. Why had he never considered that thinking could lead to belief? He continued reading. He found verses about human weakness, about arrogance, about how knowledge can blind a person if the heart is closed. Each line felt personal. Months later, when he returned to the lab, he was not the same man. He still wore his white coat. He still examined bacteria. But now, when he looked into the microscope, he felt awe instead of pride. He began researching the complexity of bacterial systems more deeply. He found layers of regulation he had once dismissed as coincidence. The deeper he looked, the more order he saw. One evening, he visited a local mosque quietly. He stood at the back, unsure. Men stood shoulder to shoulder in prayer. They bowed together, humbled. He felt something move in his chest. After the prayer, he approached the imam and said, I am a scientist. I don't understand everything, but I know I was wrong about one thing. I was not in control. The imam smiled gently. None of us are. That is why we bow. Kareem took a shahada that night, his voice trembling. He declared that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. Tears fell freely, not from fear, but from relief. His conversion shocked his colleagues. Some mocked him. The fever damaged your brain, one joked. Kareem did not argue. He simply continued his work, with integrity, with humility. He began speaking quietly to students about the limits of science. He told them, science explains how. It does not always explain why. Years later, he published a paper on microbial adaptation. In the introduction, he wrote about the wonder of life's complexity. He did not preach, but those who read carefully could see the change in tone. The same man who once demanded to see God under a microscope now saw signs of God through the microscope. He repaired his relationship with his mother. When he told her he had embraced Islam, she wept and said, the one who listens has always been listening. Kareem's story spread slowly at first, then widely. Interviews followed. He spoke calmly about his near-death experience. He did not claim miracles. He said only that when he faced death, he saw the limits of his own power. The smallest organism, he would say, can bring the strongest human to his knees. If something so small has such precise design, what does that say about the one who designed it? In his final years, Kareem volunteered in medical relief missions. He treated patients during outbreaks, not with arrogance, but with compassion. He would whisper short prayers before entering quarantine zones. He never forgot the night he nearly died. He kept the cracked glass tube in a small box at home, a reminder of how fragile life is. On the anniversary of his infection, he would sit quietly and reflect. I study bacteria to feel powerful, he once told a group of young researchers. But they taught me humility. His death came many years later, peacefully in sleep. At his funeral, scientists stood beside laborers, students beside elders. The imam spoke about knowledge and faith walking together. Kareem Lawson had once demanded proof of God in a petri dish. Instead, he found proof in his own weakness, in the precision of life, and in the mercy that allowed him a second chance. His journey from Microscope to Minaret was not a rejection of science. It was the completion of it, because he learned that the deeper you look into creation, the clearer the signs become. And sometimes, the smallest organisms can lead a human being to the greatest truth. If this story moved you, don't scroll away. There are thousands of people searching for truth, just like Dr. Kareem once did. Share this video with someone who believes science and faith can never meet. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful real-life stories that strengthen iman and open hearts. Comment below. Do you believe hardship can lead to guidance? Your support helps us continue spreading stories that inspire, educate, and remind us that knowledge without faith is incomplete. Like, share, and subscribe, and be part of a community that seeks truth together.